The entire panel thinks they're a 10 out of 10. So Myron gives them a reality check.
Party.
Yeah, both.
Okay.
Either way,
party dinner.
But you're a 10 though.
Yeah, party dinner, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. Mike, you have access to models, supermodels, girls of high status, so to speak, and looks.
3 or 4s.
Are there 10s at this table?
Internally, I'm sure subjectively they feel that they're 10s, and if that's what they want to believe, that's fine. But do you guys see how dangerous that could be if that extrapolates to other things? Like, for instance, if I just believe that and I was like, you know what, I'm 220, Deontay Wilder's 220, fuck it, let's get in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Because I just believe I'm a 10. Do you see, like, there's attributes that I have that I'm fully aware of that are not subjective, and if I go off and do that, then the guy who builds this building we're in right now, all of a sudden the building collapses. You know what I'm saying? We have objective standards we have to meet, and it doesn't matter what we feel about ourselves, we still have to do those things. I could go right to the store and be like, this Bugatti's coming with me, and they're like, you're going to jail, sir. Like, no, I'm sorry. You don't have $4.3 million in your bank account. You're not going to fucking take this.
I feel like I do.
But I feel like I do. So but my point is,
You're telling me I'm not a trillionaire, Mike?
Huh?
You're not telling me I'm not a trillionaire?
I'm afraid to tell you anything because it's 2023. I'll get canceled for telling anybody that they're not anything that they want to believe. But, like, do you guys understand? Like, it's what we're trying to express to you, that all jokes aside, is the belief that you are just a 10 is not. It's unhelpful and it's dangerous, and you're giving your female friends bad advice by agreeing with them saying that they're 10 as they get heavier and when they're not as attractive as they think they are, and as they get older, choosing to not get into relationships, waiting longer and longer to have kids, and choosing to get an advanced degree versus getting married. When you do stuff like that, you're telling your friends things that might not be the best advice. You see what I'm saying?
That's just a big extreme, honestly. I think it's just so extreme what you're saying.
What do you mean it's extreme?
Extreme.
I mean, it's extreme because you're just saying, like, do I consider myself a 10? Do I think that I'm beautiful? Okay. But, like, you're going, like, 5.
Yeah, so a 10 is perfect, though. That's the difference.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
Come on. Doesn't really matter. I mean,
listen to the words that you're using, though.
You're gonna see, no, but really, you're going to sit here, Adriana Lima, and you're going to sit here 2 supermodels, and you're going to tell them maybe they're a 10. And you're going to bring another one, like Naomi Campbell. They're not the same. You might think Adriana Lima is a 10, and then Naomi Campbell is not a 10. Because you're going to like black girls.
Well, the difference is I don't think they'd come up here and tell us that.
I mean, I'm just saying that you cannot really like beauty. You cannot, like, you will see a painting, and if you don't know how to appreciate it, you will think that is trash.
Okay, so
people have really taken it to trash
$1
million paintings because
small,
they don't know how to appreciate it.
There's small subjective things that deal with physical attractiveness, but like facial symmetry and signs of youth are universal, and there's been numerous studies that show this. So, like, the idea, even toddlers.
So, but what do you think about my example?
Children under the age of 1 will, like, look at the face of attractive people longer than beauty is not subjective. It's just small parts of subjective. Like, you might see a girl with too much ass.
Okay, but you're like comparing your bank account, and I'm comparing now like a painting.
Oh, it's not about painting. It's about the physical attractiveness of
art. You could be like $trillions, and you will look at it, and you might don't know about it, and you will say that's trash.
Okay, but you're talking about a painting, and we're not talking about that. We're talking
we're talking about bank accounts.
No, we're talking about heterosexual attraction from men towards women. It is not subjective like you think it is. It's maybe 5% subjective. The rest of it's pretty objective. Most of us, if you were to take a group of men and say, "Is this young, attractive-looking woman attractive?" Most of it would be like, "Yeah, she is." We would agree.
I get it, but honestly, men will really be with anyone. They have high standards. That's not the point. So they will have Adriana Lima, and they will have the other next, and maybe when they are with someone who is so beautiful, they will think that's a 10. And you have another girl who is also beautiful, and subjectively they're not a 10, but they can be a 10 at that moment because they will have that. Like, it's honestly.
It seems to me like you just make yourself a 10 when it's useful.
No, you're twisting my words.
I mean, but it just seems like this useful device that you have. It's almost like Go-Go Gadget arms. Like, Go-Go Gadget 10.
I'm just saying that.
I think we should cut this conversation. It's like getting too deep.
Just
it's like
one answer.
If you think you're a 10, you're a 10. Like, just live it up. Like, if it doesn't have nothing to do with your bank account. You know, like, there's like people that is very rich and they're ugly.
It's this build up. It's this pep rally. It's this psych yourself up kind of thing. It's like you got to be your best self at all the time and always tell yourself you're a 10. That when we're on our show, show, we actually asked this question as well. Most of the girls are pretty realistic about it. They'll say, like, I'm a 6, I'm a 7, whatever. If anything, they underrate
It's
themselves.
in Las Vegas.
They're always
They underrate because they're in Las Vegas, and they're
Yeah.
constantly having to compare themselves to other women who are trying to get cocktail server jobs that make $240,000 a year. And they're like, I didn't get the job. That's why none of the girls on our show call themselves a 10, because they're in Vegas, where they're constantly being reinforced
it's
because it's so
reality.
competitive with other attractive women. Whereas when we're in Miami, you guys are not. It's not the same level of competition. Maybe you just believe you believe that. My point is, believe whatever you want. Just understand it's kind of it's unconstructive to give yourself a set of value rather than to take honest criticism from the world and say this is actually what I am. Because you can start from there.
Better as a result
you can
of
build.
it.
You can get better from there, starting from where you actually are.
Well, it's emotion versus reason is what it is. It's like empirical, rational, objective reality versus here's how I feel.
Okay.
I feel like I'm a 10, but the world says I'm a 7. Right? There's a difference between those two. It's good that you want to psych yourself up and like be your best person, because if that's what motivates you, awesome. But the reality is that there's objective standards to pretty much damn near everything,
but
including art, by the way.
You can't let the world like define you. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm
like.
supposed to say.
If you let the world define you, you like they will think you're.
Time out. You at some point you do have to let
Everybody
the world
has
define
a different
you.
perception
Like, you understand,
of
like
you,
the richest
like,
man in the
it's
world,
like-
Elon Musk, he had to have an initial public offering for his businesses. That means the world defined the value of his businesses. Like successful people do let the world define them. They just improve, and then the world defines them by giving them more money and more status. As men, we are constantly letting the world define us. Now, it might not affect us emotionally, but if I want to be a better football player, maybe I got to get stronger and faster. If I want to be a better tech entrepreneur,
It makes
I have to
sense,
learn
but-
new technology. But the reason
But
why
on
I'm
a
making more money
daily
is because the
basis,
world
like,
is
if you-
defining me.
On a daily basis, if you focus yourself
No,
on
you're talking
what
about
people,
an emotional reaction to the world, for sure. I agree with you, but that's not what we're talking about here. There's objective truths.
you're not gonna be confident. Like you're always gonna feel
Well,
like
that's the whole
less.
thing.
You're
So
gonna
here's
feel like
the
you're
thing
not good enough. If you,
the world isn't
if
defining
that's the way you think.
the world's not defining who you are. It's describing what you are, and you can define yourself and say, you know what, I don't like what that is. You will only get what you've got if you keep doing what you've been doing, right? Well, if the world is saying you're one thing and you say, fuck that, I want to be something else, I'm going to define what I'm going to be, chart my own course.
Right.
That's different. Then actually, but you still, to get to that point, you have to have somebody give you some sort of hold up a mirror for
acknowledge
you so that
the
you can
truth.
see that. And by the way, you're much prettier without your makeup.
There you go.
Am I? Oh, thank you.
Oh, come on.
Of course you're gonna say that. Of course you're gonna say that.
All right, look. So you guys are way nicer. I'm just gonna give it to them.
Here we go.
Because you were way fucking too nice to these girls. The reason why you guys, because here's the thing, that was a trick question. None of you are a 10 here because a 10 assumes that you're perfect. No one's a 10, okay? If you were a 10, you'd be on the cover of Maxim. You wouldn't be fucking here. That's number one. Number two, the only reason women are able to say the delusional things that you guys say, like I'm a 10 out of 10, is because we don't tell women the truth that, yo, you are actually delusional. You're not as hot as you think you are. And you got to live in objective reality. Men have to live in reality. If I'm fat, short, loser, girls remind me that I'm a loser because they won't suck my dick. But a girl that's a 5 will be told she's a 10 by some guy so that he can get laid, and they'll actually believe it. Because women don't get negative reinforcement for their fuckery. Men do. That's why you get to run around and say, I'm a 10 when you're objectively not. None of you are a 10. Sorry. That's the reality.
You know what?
Well,
so don't
you're
take your
not
makeup
10
off.
either.
I never claimed I
You could
did.
be
He
a
never said he
6.
Never claimed I did. I'm a trainer, remember?
666.
By the way,
Yeah, I'm a trainer.
I'm Puerto Rican.
Subjective.
Yeah, I'm Puerto Rican today.
Yeah. So my thing is, I just find that amazing because when we ask this question, every girl rates themselves a fucking 10.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell is going on
And if
that
they
gives
don't,
women so much
The
confidence?
girls say, "Oh no, babe, you are a 10." I'm like, bro, come on.
Yeah,
I
man.
think it's not-
We need to let women know that there's standards and there's realities,
I know.
and like you can be losers too. Like
You don't need
guys
to be
get held
telling
to a
women
standard.
anything.
What?
You don't need to be telling women that.
Why not?
The only question I have about that is like, okay, so if you tell a woman that, okay, then what? Like, what,
Yeah, no.
What do you,
Now,
what
then,
do you,
hold on, because let me tell you what ends up happening when you tell women that they're 10s.
No,
they
no,
can't
I'm
find
saying
a boyfriend.
if you tell them they're a 10, if you
No,
tell
no.
them they're a 10 or they're a 1 or like, well, okay, so you told me this, what do I do with this information? You want me to cut something
want
up?
us to lie to you?
Or
No.
something? Like what am I supposed to
You
do?
want us to lie to you?
You know?
Yeah, like
No, you don't have to lie. It's just saying you told me this, so now what do I do with this information?
That's true.
So,
Be sad. be,
no.
Do,
You
what am I supposed to do?
you go look at yourself in the mirror, say, "Damn, I got some work to do," and you actually self-improve.
Wait. Everyone here- everyone here is
Stop. See, and this is you guys looking at me crazy because it's like women don't feel the need to self-improve. You don't come perfect the way that you are. You have to self-improve. Like women sit there and say, "I'm perfectly imperfect." No, you're not. You look like shit. You need to improve yourself just like a guy. If you're fat, you need to go to the gym. If you're a noxious bitch, you need to work on your personality. If you're annoying, you need to learn how to be more poised and be quiet. But we tell women that they're perfect no matter how they behave. It's crazy to me how women don't feel the need to self-improve and have the gall to get on a podcast with 20, 30,000 people watching live and call themselves a 10 out of 10. That's crazy. And here's the other thing, too, why this is a problem. When you run around and you say, I'm a fucking 10, well, you're going to think you deserve a guy that's way out of your caliber. And the reality is you don't deserve him. He's probably just going to fuck you, throw you to the side, not take you seriously. You can't get a boyfriend. You wonder why. I wonder why. No one's telling you the truth that you're annoying, fat, annoying bitch, and you don't want to self-improve. That's why so many women are single, because they're delusional, and they don't understand that their level doesn't match up what they think it is, and they think they deserve a guy that they don't necessarily deserve. Women need to go back to reality and realize you qualify for a certain amount of men, and unless you self-improve, you don't deserve that guy. But why is that men? We self-improve. We want to get bad bitches, whatever. I can't get a bad bitch being a brokey. It ain't happening. Why do women think I could be an annoying ass bitch that's fat and I deserve a top tier guy? That's crazy to me. That's why I tell women that, because you guys are delusional.
You're taking things to
But you're
extreme.
still confused.
What was
She's
that?
being so extreme.
Objective.
Okay. How am I extreme? Go ahead. Please tell me how I'm extreme.
How dare you?
How am I extreme?
Okay. You're saying, okay, I understand when you're going like with spa and stuff, like there's standards in society with beauty. I get it. But like, let's be honest. There's people with so much money and you cannot really take beauty because it comes the people that they grow up with. And I have seen guys with the most normal girls in the world who have so much money and their wife and their families, because it's not only beauty. Like there's so much coming with someone with a good family. There's so much background. Like you think, oh, you need to be a 10 if you want to be with a guy. No,
but
you have like, what's a 10 for you? Like big boob?
No. But see, here's
like,
the thing: those women that get those rich guys that are not that attractive, you know what they do? You know what they have? They have humbleness.
Yeah.
They understand. They
Humility.
understand.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
maybe they were just
understand
lucky
where
that
they
they
rank.
grew
They
up in the
understand that their
same-
man is superior to them, and they understand. Okay. If I'm gonna go ahead and land this guy, yes. If you're with a guy that makes that kind of money, he's superior to you. Sorry, that's how the world works.
That's not true.
Machismo, huh?
No, my God. Most women who are in those situations, because they grow in rich families too. You have this idea of how the world works, and the world's not like that.
Really?
Like she grew up with him, probably went to school together, and they like each other. Maybe he will cheat, maybe he won't. You maybe have like an ugly guy with no money. Maybe he won't. Maybe he will cheat.
It doesn't change the fact that she's
What?
attracted to him because he's superior to her.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Let me ask you a question.
I mean,
How about
that's
this?
a fact.
Hold on.
If you have,
Let's use common sense.
that's a fact.
Do you want a man that's taller than you?
Yeah.
Do you want a man that's stronger than you physically?
Yeah, but
Hold on, stop.
Keep going.
Do you want a guy that's more educated and more competent than yourself?
But why more?
Answer the question,
I
yes
mean,
or no?
Yeah, but yeah.
Yes.
If I have to pick, yeah.
Okay, do you want a guy that's more educated than yourself?
If I have to pick, of course.
Do you want a guy that makes more money than you?
Yeah, of course.
Sounds to me like you want a superior too.
But doesn't have to be a superior because someone that you can
Fucking
admire.
checkmate,
Why
bro.
does it have to
Make
be?
more money than
Why
me.
the men have to be here?
I can make more
You know
money
what? I
than
can
you.
answer that with one simple thing.
Okay.
Women cannot look up to a man who is her equal.
Ooh.
Bruh.
I agree.
I do.
respect ways as
I
well.
agree in that because we do need someone to look at. That's true.
So
And
then
to
what are you
respect.
arguing?
And to respect.
What
Ergo,
are you
you're looking
arguing?
for a guy
We're
who's
on the
superior
10
to you.
thing. We just
admire.
Who you admire,
Yeah.
exactly.
But hold on, if you think you're a 10, you're gonna have an inability to look up to someone
Yeah.
or admire them. You're gonna think you deserve the best and everything, and you really don't. That's what I'm trying to
But
say.
I mean, you have to be a little realistic. You're taking
But
things
that-
too far.
No, that's
no,
realistic.
hold on.
Who's realistic
We're
if
speaking
they're all
English here.
saying they're a 10? No
Yeah.
one's
I'm
being
just saying
realistic.
that everyone is beautiful. Everyone has something to offer.
No, but
Agreed,
they're not
but that doesn't
10s.
make them. That
But
doesn't
you
make them
have
a
to have
10.
you
They're not
gotta
10s.
have a
Why
bigger
not?
vision. You know, if you're not ambitious, like what's your point in life? Like what you go was gonna like live under other people and feel like you're not good enough to one bigger and
ambition?
one better.
Okay,
Like,
you know. Okay, look. You know what the equivalent is? Let me ask you, ladies, a question, just because I want you guys to really understand this. All right, let's go into a dream world. All right, let's go into a dream world. Let's say I told you I was a successful lawyer. Okay, making $500,000 a year. I own a law firm, right?
Okay.
And we went out on a date, right? Then you find out that I'm not a lawyer. I actually work at McDonald's.
Donald's.
Isn't that kind of crazy for me to tell you I'm a lawyer and I'm very successful, but the reality is I work at McDonald's?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what is comparison
That's
with women?
no. That's exactly what it is when a girl
also-
sits there and says, "I'm a 10."
Come on.
When you're really
Still
like a 6 or a
subjective.
7. Yes, it's the same exact thing.
Oh my
That's
God.
subjective versus objective, though.
No, it's not the same thing.
What do you mean that's
mean,
subjective versus
Either
objective?
you work in McDonald's or you're
No,
a
but
lawyer.
I feel like I'm a lawyer though.
Yeah, I feel like.
But
And I feel like I make 400K a year.
But either
You're delusional.
Either you are. Either you work
You're
at
an-
McDonald's or you work at a law firm.
Okay, you're either a 10 or you're not.
That's
You're
bottom
versus
line.
that.
That's
Don't make sense.
subjective.
Just
There's no
automatic.
subjective. You don't work at the law firm at McDonald's. You either work at the law firm or
The
you work at
foundation
McDonald's.
is everyone can improve, right? So you're
Yeah.
not a 10 by default. No one is.
Okay, yeah.
So then what are you
I'm
arguing?
just
that's
giving you the
subjective.
functional equivalent because you guys
I'm arguing
like
what's subjective
No.
versus
Our money
what's
and our
tangible.
status, ladies, our money and our status, right, is the equivalent to your beauty.
Yeah,
So what
yeah.
I'm saying is that if you sit there and you say you're a 10,
Yeah.
right, then I should be able to run around and say I work at a law firm and I make $500,000 a year.
Yeah.
No,
mean,
but I get
I
what you
feel
mean.
like it.
No, I get what you mean, but it's not the same. But I get
I
what
mean,
you mean. I
but-
understand what you're saying. It just does not make sense. It's
No,
not
it makes
the same.
absolute sense because
No, because-
no. Let me explain why it makes
Okay,
sense. Because
explain.
women are attracted to money and status. Men are attracted to
Uh-huh.
looks.
Exactly.
So it's the equivalent.
Even if
That means
sorry,
subjective.
even
Because
if
we don't
I,
give a fuck about your money.
yeah, but if I look up to you, we go in a date together in physical, and I tell you I'm a 10, and you don't consider me a 10, I can lie to you. But if you tell me that you're a lawyer, you can lie to me. Like, how am I gonna know? I mean, I'm gonna find out later. Yeah, just like you're gonna find out when you see me if I am a 10 to you or I'm not. That's what I'm saying.
It has I think it's just different for women and men. Where for women it's beauty and for men it's status. So I
No,
do
yeah.
think it's very similar that if a woman has the delusion of being a 10, which is a delusion, it's not reality. 'Cause-
Then it won't take her anywhere. Like no guy will take her out.
Exactly,
Like
but-
even
That's what
if
he's
you
saying.
really,
Thank you for explaining my
Yo.
point 30 minutes ago.
Okay.
That's like
It's
my
delusional and
quote
won't take
stuff
you
shit.
anywhere.
Oh,
You just
okay,
spent 20
okay.
minutes.
Seriously, it's
Disagreeing.
delusional
Everybody
and
likes a
won't
boss
take you anywhere.
bitch. Like, nobody likes a
let
girl
me-
that
let
will
me
do your
try to
shit,
let me
man.
try to square the circle real quick. Let me try to square the circle. If I had a niece and my niece was needed a heart transplant and she got a heart transplant from a cardiologist, the woman who does the heart transplant has tremendous value to society. I'm going to thank her. I'm going to send her cards. Thank you for saving my niece's life. That doesn't make her more sexually attractive to me. Do you guys understand?
Yeah.
What makes her valuable to the world and what makes her sexually attractive are not the same thing. But if a guy is like a famous boxer or like a famous actor, he's a famous actor.
Hell, if he's a doctor, needed the surgery.
Exactly. If
That makes him
you have
sexier. Pause.
a male cardiologist, and what makes him physically attractive, what makes him attractive to women, and what makes him valuable to society are the same thing. Because they're
Okay.
men. If what makes you attractive to society and attractive to the opposite sex are different for women. Make sense?
Makes sense. I get
Okay.
it.
So you ain't a 10.
So you're
okay. There we go.
We made some progress.
Yeah. They explain